What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hanging Heavy. As always, I'm your boy Desecrator. And I know I missed last week and I was with family, doing the family thing. So fuck you guys. Give me a day off. All right? I do this weekly by myself. Excuse you. But yeah, thank you guys for coming back to yet another episode of the show that I like to call Hanging Heavy, where the podcast can get as heavy as a host. And if you haven't already, go ahead and download the Podbean app for easy listening. It automatically notifies you when I upload an episode. You can like, comment, share, and you can even listen to other podcasts that you probably want to listen to besides this. So, hey, it's a win-win for you and for me. It's not like I get paid, but I just want to make things easier. If not, you can always listen on the website, hangingheavy.podbean.com. Or you can always search me on YouTube. In the search bar, just type in Hanging Heavy Podcast, and you see the two glasses clinking. And guess who's drinking? Today I got a little Kentucky bourbon whiskey. It's called Kentucky Gentleman, and it's a little smoky, but it not too much. It doesn't taste like you're sucking on a fucking piece of charcoal. It's got some good flavor. It's got some nice body. And it's dirt cheap. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's just tickle this nutsack of today's episode, and let's get into it. So, Ridley Scott and Paramount have decided to make a sequel for one of the biggest movie titles of all time, Gladiator. Gluteus Maximus. That's cool and all, but the one question I have is, why? There's no need for it 20 years later. Bruv, just leave it alone. But whatever, fuck me, right? I still remember seeing the movie as a kid. I went to my favorite cousin's, let's call him Alvis's house. If he ever listens, he'll understand. But he likely won't. Anyway, Alvin, his mom, and I went to Tinseltown. Not a sponsor. Where they show movies in IMAX. This was my first time, so it was a treat. Anyway, this movie wasn't for kids, but I guess his mom really wanted to watch it. The part that always comes back to me is when Joaquin Phoenix gets killed. Spoiler alert. And I just remember I started laughing and cheering. This scene in particular in the movie draws to a near silence when this happens. And I was in this weird moment alone. Everyone turned and looked at me like, what the fuck, kid? What's your damage? I just remember thinking, fuck that guy. He was a bitch. But this family I went with is very religious, so I kept that in to myself, and just sat there in silence, waiting for the lights to come on and the movie to finish. Alvin later told me that he thought it was hilarious that had happened. Then he left me there, alone in the shame. You bitch. The shame. Are you not entertained? I mean, now that I'm talking about movies, I just read that Vince Gilligan, the creator and majority writer of the hit TV series Breaking Bad, is in pre-production to make a, wait for it, Breaking Bad movie. Fuck yes. Take my money, please. If you don't know, he's great at building worlds and shifting characters. Breaking Bad, like for countless others, is one of my favorite TV series of all time. Good shit. You should watch it if you haven't. Speaking of TV, the 10th and final episode of the Mayans MC series, it aired this past week, and as a huge fan of Sons of Anarchy, they managed to keep it in the same tone and breadth of the original series. Kurt Sutter got the right people in place to make this show what it was. It ended on a cliffhanger, and I hope to hell it gets picked up, because fuck, it was some good Hispanic shit. It's raw and it's gritty, and I like it. Ooh, baby, I like raw. I just wanted to throw some what the fuck news. The Girl Scouts of America are deciding to sue the Boy Scouts over the fact that the Boy Scouts are planning to change their name. The Boy Scouts of America plan to drop the boy and just be named the Scouts of America. Ugh. Some SJW bullshit again. Look, they existed way before the Girl Scouts. Now they're just trying to rectify that by suing them because it might confuse people. It's 2018. Nobody fucking cares about that shit anymore. Just shut the fuck up and sell us delicious cookies. It's not an issue until you made it one. Get the fuck out of here. This is just gonna be a dumb add-on, but I was watching TV the other day and they were advertising this exercise bike. And ooh, it's a bit fancier than one could imagine, but the one thing that caught my interest wasn't its state-of-the-art equipment or flashy advert, but alone in its name. The name of that bike is Peloton. 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 For me, I instantly paused the TV because DVR magic. Humble brag. But I stopped the commercial to make sure I wasn't having a stroke and misreading the Peloton. For me, being Hispanic and having the maturity level of a potato, shout out to my taters, but Peloton is, at least to me, a slang way of saying in Spanish, fucking big balls. And maybe they're taking a shot at Lance Armstrong, I don't know, but kudos to that bike company for not doing your research on your branding. Nice. Peloton. Oh, what were you doing? Oh, I was just riding my Peloton, you know. What are you gonna do today? I'm gonna go grab the Peloton and get a few miles in. How are you feeling? Feeling like jumping on a Peloton right now. Start sweating on that Peloton. That's so stupid. So stupid yet it makes me laugh. I love it. I'm a simple-minded creature, y'all. Simple-minded. Before I forget, I just want to go ahead and shout out a close person to me, my boy Josh out in Japan. I love you, baby. I miss you every day. Peloton. So, I had a thought the other day. What would you do if, or when, I should say, aliens come to Earth and are like, what the fuck, mate? What are you doing? You're fucking it up for everybody. I don't know why they'd be fucking New Zealand or Australian or whatever that accent was trying to be. But I thought about it. What the fuck? What the fuck would we do? I mean, what would I do? I don't know. Would I start loading up my guns and get ready for the takeover? Or would I accept my imminent slavery? Or possible death? If they became hostile, yeah, I guess I would go on a shooting rampage. They taken our jobs. Now the military's already on the border for that. But I don't know. If they weren't hostile and they were just trying to imbue us with smarts and educational stuff, because we country around here. I don't know. That would be fucking interesting. That'd be pretty crazy. First, I'd fucking jizz my pants because they exist. I don't know. I'd be fucking terrified, regardless. At the same time, come scared. You ever get one of those? Coming so much because you're scared. Happens all the time. Humble brag. But what would you do? Leave a comment. Leave a like. Yeah, tell me what you would do in the circumstance that aliens came and were like, hey, you're fucking up Earth. We gave you everything you could possibly need. What are you doing? Let me know your little hot take. I guess going off of that, I got some interesting science news. Let's talk about that. So, China is planning to launch an artificial moon by the year 2020 as a means to replace street lamps and lower electricity costs in urban areas. How, you may wonder? Let's dive into that. They plan on building satellites that will reflect light from the sun. This is estimated to help save an estimated 1.2 billion yuan, aka $170 million American a year. If the man-made moons can illuminate an area of 50 square kilometers, then it would help. They also add that if these satellites indeed do work, it could also be used to help with rescue efforts in disaster zones that have blackouts. Whoa there. Well, looks like there might be some benefits to eating organic after all. Studies are starting to show that organic foods can help with lowering the risk for getting cancer. Well, as nice as that is, there's so much shit that causes cancer nowadays. I don't think there's enough organic food to counteract this. So, fuck you, Whole Foods. Not a sponsor. Well, the possibility of life on Mars. The question that has been haunting scientists and intellectuals alike for decades is back into play now that there's a new study from the Nature Geoscience. They released an article suggesting that there's enough oxygen beneath Mars' surface to harbor life. Well, fuck, Marvin has been hiding underground. If that's true, I wonder what kind of crazy Martian mole people exist. I knew it. Matt Damon didn't get stranded there eating shit potatoes for nothing. These accusations, or I shouldn't say that, they're not accusing Mars, but whatever. They come from the possible existence of underground lakes that potentially could exist under the Martian polar ice cap. If these lakes do in fact exist, then the possibility of oxygen being found is very likely. Well, come on, Musk. Get your rich ass to Mars and start fucking finding out, guy. A lot of shit is happening with us humans and looking into the heavens, aka space. Astronomers have observed... Excuse me, I have been drinking. They have observed a supermassive black hole residing in the center of the Milky Way. It's pulling in gas blobs into its vortex at 30% the speed of light. The way scientists found this was that the movement of these gas blobs, that's the scientific term, by the way, they're using it. Not just my dumb mind dumbing it down, their words, not mine. The movement triggered powerful bursts of radiation that was then able to be detected by researchers in Chile using the gravity instrument on the very large telescope array they have. Sagittarius A, dubbed Star A, is thought to be a black hole with a mass more than 4 million times the mass of our sun, and it is residing about 25,000 light years from our beautiful disaster that we call Earth. I'm sure, like many of you people out there, you've been in need of a quick buck, as have I. Some thinking of selling sperm. Other people out there have thought about selling their plasma. Well, fuck that. I'm greedy. I won't donate blood or donate any other bodily fluid willingly. You can call me greedy, but I can also say, fuck you. The shit ain't free, dog. I gotta grow this shit myself in my body. Sorry, I always get sidetracked. Selling plasma might not be worth it after all. These are the reasons I said fuck that even more. Number 1, the people at the plasma center don't have to be medically trained at all. The fuck? That's why they always fuck people up during their procedures. I've read several accounts, but the one that stood out, a gentleman who will go unnamed, stated, after they separated the plasma and started pumping the depleted blood back into him, they placed the needle wrong and the blood started filling up his forearm like a balloon. He was in a decent amount of pain before they were able to correct this, and it still took days for the swelling to dwindle down. No? Most of you people think that the plasma goes to help people. Number 2, that's true and untrue at the same time. If you do a little digging, you'll find out that most medical establishments won't take plasma that was sold or paid for by a company. The reason is that people that are hawking their plasma are more inclined to lie about their medical history in order to get paid. So it ends up doing more harm than good. If someone is sick or infected with something, they could then later spoil the batch, so to speak. So the majority of it goes to research, or their biggest cash cow, cosmetics. So the next time you're putting that age-defying serum, think about how much of that has been tainted by a heroin needle or some other junky bullshit. scumbags. This is why they don't play for blood donations. It encourages cleaner blood, and it's not stuck in some moral gray area that these things that people think will go to help others and get paid. But nah, you're just an asshole looking for a quick buck. Sometimes it goes to making creams and other things that actually do help people, but most of the time it does not. And number 3, my last reason, is there are more and more studies showing that donating plasma can have lasting effects on the human body. The blood that is being put back is factually more depleted, so your body can go into different states of shock, and it can be a detriment to yourself. There are no benefits from it besides stacking that wallet, making that cheddar. And for some people, it could take some hours, days, or even weeks before they start to feel normal or themselves again. So yeah, fuck that. It's my blood. It's my cum. It's my plasma. Detector germs.
Yes, science.
So I was planning on having a confidant, my musical partner. Maybe you've heard of him. He goes by the name Carhartt. Yes, I'm talking about that lovely specimen that helped me re-record and officially record the Hangin' Heavy intro. Or theme song, shall I say. I was going to talk to him about probably my proudest musical moment in the two-piece black metal band. What you mean black metal? Yeah, so when we were young boys, we created a venture known as Infernal Desecration. It was a black metal band because for some reason we were really into it at the time. And I would fucking go out on a limb and say, we were better than your black metal band, you fucking bitch. We recorded 3 songs, and I mixed and mastered them. And you can hear and tell that the production got better as we progressed. We did 3 songs, like I said. So the first one intentionally sounds like garbage. It sounds like we recorded it in a coffee can on purpose because we were staying true to black metal. But the next 2 I actually tried to make sound fucking good, and I think they do. Since he's not here, I'm going ahead and play little snippets of each song because I can do that, no copyright. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this is also the time when I started learning how to fucking sample. So each song started off with a sample, or at least there's a sample in each of the songs. And the third one, for some reason, when I was editing alone in the dark, fucking started to freak me out. I'll go ahead and say the first song is called... Let me fucking bring them up first, just so that I don't fucking mispronounce them. Infernal. Yeah. Okay, so the first song is called Diabolical Possession. And it starts off with the sample, and this is pretty much what built the song. If you've ever seen the horror movie Hellraiser, there's a sweet fucking line that Pinhead says. He turns to the main character and says, oh, you know what? Fuck that. Let me just play it. I'll play it from the very beginning because that's where it gets cued.
We'll tear your soul apart.
So yeah, you get the gist of it. We were fucking brutal as fuck. Fuck you guys. And yeah, so that was Diabolical Possession. And that was the first track that we recorded. And since he's not here, I can't get the musical insight that it took to build such a beautiful track, but yeah, whatever. He did the drum programming and the guitar work, and I did the lyrics and recording. So that's kind of how we worked, and that's how we still work. And yeah, it worked. It worked out great. This next song is called Genocide, also having a sample at the very beginning, and the sample that we took was from a Hitler youth speech. I don't know what the fuck it says. It's in German, so if there's anyone that knows German can translate it for me, go ahead. Fucking awesome. But this track was also written by myself lyrically, and obviously I recorded it, and Carhartt did the rest, and it worked out pretty badass. It's one of my favorite songs ever. So yeah, as you can tell, we were fucking awesome. I did track bass, but in true black metal fashion, you can't hear it. And that's kind of done purposely on my part. It's an inside metal joke, but whatever. So yeah, I did the music, tracking, fucking recording. I did the lyrics. I also did backup vocals, which you could hear on that track. Luis does, aka Carhartt. Fuck, he does the lead vocals. And yeah, fucking that track, probably my favorite song that we did. But sonically, this next song is fucking brutal, and the sample is in the bridge of the song, so yeah, there's no sample that you'll hear, but this track is fucking heavy, and it's called Dark Prince of Pestilence, and this one was all Carhartt. I've done songs by myself, so I know how hard it is, so fucking much respect to that. I'll give you a little taste of that, and then I think I'll close it up, because it's running a little longer than I thought. I had to cut a segment out. So yeah, that's something that I'm fucking very proud of. Those are some fucking awesome tracks, and if you were a purveyor of the finest social medias, you would have found us on MySpace. uh, this is something that I hope continues, whether I contribute or not. I know Carhartt wanted to continue making music with Infernal Desecration moniker, and I gladly support it as long as I get my credits worth, and if he gets paid, I get paid. That's how it works, bitch. Verbal contract, son. Yeah, since he wasn't here to fucking talk about it, which is kind of sad, but whatever, fuck him. Mr. Busy over there. Yeah, go ahead and let me know what you think. I know there's not much to judge, but those are the 3 tracks, and they get better and better as they went along. Like I said, fucking great shit, Carhartt. Yeah, like always, go ahead and like, comment, share. If you can help a brother out, go ahead and spread the word on your social media, because I don't do that shit. Hopefully relying on the old school way of fucking spread of mouth. Spread the word. Spread of mouth. Spread that mouth, boy. I'm gonna make you squeal like a piggy. Yeah, so if you haven't already, go ahead and download the Podbean app. It makes listening a whole lot easier. You get notified when I upload, and it just makes the overall experience a little bit better, I think. If not, you can always go to the website, hangingheavy.podbean.com. And if you don't want to do that, you can also go to YouTube and search Hanging Heavy Podcast. And there you go. As always, I'm your boy Desecrator, and this has been Hanging Heavy. Rich and Rare.